basically shows, just as an example, some of the very varied third-party integrations that you have into your dispense system. There's probably equivalent slide or number of integrations that you'd find in your POS system as well. Every one of these poses a risk. Now, they're all reputable businesses that we vet and we partner with, and so we're very confident in the level of security that they have. But the reality is they have access to your data, and it's something that you need to be mindful of. You see one particular arrow there which is flashing. It's pointing to IoT and smart devices, security cameras and alike. That is a particular risk that we see within pharmacy because they're not partners that we do any work with. They don't directly integrate with your systems. We have no control over what systems they access within the pharmacy, but they do have access to your pharmacy network. And what's important in looking at that is understanding the data trail, particularly with those smart devices, because many of them are actually what's known as internet facing, and what they actually do is have an open and automatic connection to the internet. Now, with regards to a supply chain attack, which is one of the emerging risks, there's probably two things that you need to be aware of. Two types of risks associated with that. Admittedly, the first one isn't as common, but essentially what is possible is that the third-party company which is connected to your system, they have some form of data breach or some sort of cyber incident where a cyber criminal gains access to their systems, and they're able to embed malicious code into their software. You then update your software as you recommended to do, as we all say, update your software on a regular basis, and then inadvertently download that malicious code into your system. Now, that is a rare instance, but it has occurred in the last 12 months, not within the pharmacy industry that I'm aware of, but it is a risk that you need to be aware of. Unfortunately, at that point, there's actually not much you can do. No level of network hardening will actually prevent that sort of supply chain attack because it's coming in via legitimate means. So it's important to understand who are the people that you connect to and who are the third-party organisations that have access to your data, and you need to ensure that you have confidence in them that they have the right level of security in place to protect your data because they do have access to it. The more common way, and the way that you would have seen potentially with the recent breaches, some of the big name breaches that have happened in Australia over the last 12 months or so, is where the employees at these particular organisations have their credentials compromised. So what happens in that instance is that somebody gains access to their email or to their log-on, which then gives them access to the third-party company systems, which then have access to your data. And also insider risk with a rogue employee is also and presents challenges in that space as well. Again, there's not a lot you can do in that space, but you do need to be aware that that does pose a risk to your data. And again, same. Ensure that the organisations that you partner with are doing what they can and being aware of what those terms and conditions are in terms of what they do with your data and how they access it. So just getting back to those IoT devices and those smart devices, they are internet facing, they do automatically connect to the internet. We have had instances, one particularly recently where it was a smart TV, which the ones that run the ads, it was where the malware was coming into the network. So you need to be very mindful of those sorts of devices that you plug into your pharmacy, light bulbs, security cameras, fridges, anything that is a smart device potentially has and poses a risk because unfortunately, unlike those other third-party companies, the IoT device companies do not invest heavily in cybersecurity. They do not see it as something that's important to them at this stage.